So exercise related to air and water, the topic which we already completed. So in this question, the first question, the chat is open. You can also use the chat to state the answer. What do you think could be a right answer? So a new planet has been discovered and its atmosphere has been analyzed. The table shows the composition of a new planet. Which gases are present in the atmosphere a higher percentage than on Earth? So when we compare on Earth, how much carbon dioxide we have? We have about 0.04% carbon dioxide is there on Earth. Nitrogen is about 78% nitrogen and 21% oxygen. So compared to Earth, like this is the atmosphere of the planet shown. So the question is which gases are present in the atmosphere of the planet higher? So when we compare carbon dioxide, on Earth it is only 0.4, but on that planet it is 4%. So it means carbon dioxide is higher on that planet. When we check nitrogen, nitrogen is less. What about oxygen? 21% on Earth, but on that planet it is 24%. So on that planet oxygen is more. So the correct answer, carbon dioxide and oxygen. So A will be the right answer. The next question, how many car exhaust system contain catalytic converter which change does not occur, like which does not happen? Catalytic converter, they convert carbon monoxide to carbon dioxide, oxide of nitrogen to nitrogen gas, and hydrocarbons also, but they burn completely. So carbon dioxide to carbon, that does not happen. Carbon monoxide to carbon dioxide, yes, it do. Nitrogen oxide to nitrogen, that's also right, it happened. And unburned hydrocarbon, like the hydrocarbon which does not burn, it burn them completely, produce carbon dioxide and water. So the question is which is not occur, which does not take place. So A, B, C, and D take place. So which one does not take place? A is the right answer. That carbon dioxide is not converted because in catalytic converter, the unburned hydrocarbon it burned completely and it give off carbon dioxide and water. So and oxides of nitrogen such as nitrogen monoxide or carbon monoxide, so it convert into nitrogen gas and carbon dioxide. So oxide of nitrogen convert into nitrogen and carbon monoxide convert into carbon dioxide, and hydrocarbon produce water and carbon dioxide. Then ammonia is formed in a reversible reaction when nitrogen react with hydrogen. The reaction is exothermic. So which change in the condition would increase the yield? In yield means like amount of the product, or which one will shift the equilibrium or the balance toward the right hand side. So if we increase the pressure, we have 1 mole and 2. So increasing the pressure shift the equilibrium towards the right, so yield will increase, that's 2. But if we increase the temperature, the forward reaction is exothermic. So if we have a reaction, exothermic reactions, reacted have high energy and the product is having a low energy. So as a result, N2 plus 3H2 gives 2NH3. So if we increase the temperature, what will happen? Equilibrium will shift on the left hand side or backward. If the equilibrium shift, increasing temperature shift the equilibrium toward the left hand side. So the yield will not increase, yield will decrease. So we should increase the pressure, but we should not increase the temperature. So B is the right answer. So increasing the pressure shift the equilibrium toward the right hand side, but increasing a temperature shift the equilibrium towards the left hand side. So pressure should be increased, but not the temperature. Reversible reactions are affected by changing the pressure as well as temperature. The farmer's soil is very low in both nitrogen and phosphorus. So small amount of nitrogen and phosphorus is there in the soil. Which fertilizer will improve the quality of the soil and most effectively? Like which provide more nitrogen and phosphorus more effectively change the amount of nitrogen and phosphorus. So when we check, when we check for B, it is having more phosphorus but less nitrogen. But we want both of them, so we need more nitrogen and we need more phosphorus. We don't bother about potassium because in the question they did not mention that it is low in potassium. So we are checking. So best to provide nitrogen and phosphorus, that is D. But if I say which one is best to provide potassium, then it will be A. Which one is best to provide phosphorus, that is B. Which one is best to provide nitrogen, that is C. And which one is best to provide both nitrogen and phosphorus, that is D. So that's why D is the right answer. The gases coming from the car exhaust, car engine contain oxides of nitrogen. How these oxides are formed? So basically nitrogen and oxygen from the air react with each other and it form oxides of nitrogen. So nitrogen react with, that's wrong. That so nitrogen react with petrol, it does not react with petrol. Basically nitrogen and oxygen react with each other to form this oxide. And nitrogen is coming from the air, the nitrogen is from the air, oxygen is also from the air, but due to high temperature and there's a spark in the engine which cause this reaction to occur. Lime or calcium oxide is used to treat a wastewater from the factory. So lime is calcium oxide or metal oxide. So metal oxide can react with what? It can react with, as we discussed in salt topic, acid, alkali and salt, that if you have a metal oxide can be basic or it can be amphoteric. But there are three amphoteric examples you have to learn: zinc, lead and aluminium. So calcium oxide will be metal oxide or it will be a basic oxide. And if this is a basic oxide, the basic oxide can react with acid only. So calcium oxide will react with acid. So which one of them is acid? Sulfuric. D is the right answer. Catalytical converters are used to remove some gaseous pollutant from the car exhaust. Which gases is removed? Fume by oxidation. So what happened? Carbon monoxide and oxides of nitrogen, it become carbon dioxide and nitrogen gas. So carbon monoxide, there's a addition of oxygen. If addition of oxygen is there, what we call that as oxidation. And for oxide of nitrogen, it turned to nitrogen gas, there's a removal of oxygen, and removal of oxygen is called reduction. So the question is which gas is removed? So which gas is removed by oxidation? That is carbon monoxide, because carbon monoxide in a catalytical converter convert into carbon dioxide. So this change is oxidation. So B is the right answer. In question 8, ammonia is produced by a Haber process. Which statement about the Haber process is not correct? Iron is catalyst used to increase the rate of reaction. That is correct. The reaction carried out at high temperature to increase the rate of reaction. That is also correct, because if we increase the temperature, the rate of the reaction will be higher. The reaction is carried out at low pressure to increase the amount of the ammonia. That is wrong, because when you check, if the pressure is low, the equilibrium will shift toward the left hand side. It won't increase the amount of ammonia, it will decrease the amount of ammonia. So C is not the right statement. Then the diagram shows some uses of the water. For which use it is important water to be treated? Like we want a clean water for cooking, for washing, or for planting. So for all treatment of the water is like removing all the soluble and insoluble impurities. Treatment here does not mean like you want to kill all the bacteria, but it's like even for plantation, when we use, we should remove the soluble and insoluble impurities. When we are using water for washing, that also here treated water refers to that all the soluble and insoluble impurities. So the best here, because for washing it is not necessary like we should kill a bacteria, so the best is for cooking we need a very pure water so that it won't have any bacteria. Then oxides of nitrogen are found in polluted air. Like polluted air contain these oxides of nitrogen. The question is which statement about the oxide of nitrogen is correct. Oxide of nitrogen are formed when nitrogen and oxygen react during fraction distillation. No, that is wrong. It is correct when nitrogen and oxygen react, but it is not in a fraction distillation. Oxide of nitrogen are formed in car engine by reaction of petrol. That is wrong, because it is nitrogen and oxygen from the air react due to high temperature. Oxides of nitrogen are removed from car exhaust by reacting with carbon dioxide. That is also wrong, because it is not reacting with carbon dioxide, it is reacting with carbon monoxide. And oxides of nitrogen are removed from car exhaust by reduction in catalytic converter. That's true, because when oxide of nitrogen and carbon monoxide mix with each other, as a result it produces carbon dioxide and NO. So the oxide of nitrogen, sorry, here N2. So oxides of nitrogen and NO become N2. It means removal of oxygen or reduction. So D is the right answer. In question 11, the photosynthesis and respiration are important natural process. Which statement is correct? Carbon dioxide is formed by reaction of a glucose with water. No, that is a reaction of glucose with oxygen. Carbon dioxide is removed from air by respiration. No, that is by photosynthesis. Glucose react with oxygen, water. No, that's wrong. Glucose react with oxygen to form water in respiration. And photosynthesis produce glucose and oxygen. That's true. When carbon dioxide and water vapor combine in the presence of chlorophyll, it form glucose and oxygen. The carbon cycle include the process of combustion, photosynthesis, and respiration. Which row shows how the process change the amount of carbon dioxide? If we burn, the amount or percentage of the carbon dioxide will increase. If we photosynthesis plant, green plant absorb carbon dioxide, so amount of carbon dioxide will, and respiration, a glucose breakdown in the presence of oxygen, so amount of carbon dioxide will increase. So increase, decrease, and increase. So C will be the right answer. Then which statement about the condition used in a Haber process is not correct? High temperature is used because the forward reaction is exothermic. When forward reaction is exothermic, we don't prefer to use a high temperature, we prefer to use low temperature. So that's why A is not correct. What about B? High pressure is used because fewer moles of a gas are present in the product. That's true, because there are 4 particles of the reactant and there are 2 particles of a product. So we prefer to use a high pressure, so it shifts the balance towards the right hand side. So that's true. Iron is used as a catalyst to increase the rate of reaction, and unreacted hydrogen and nitrogen recycle are combined together to increase the amount of ammonia. That's also true. Air is a mixture of the gases. Which gas is present in the largest amount? So we contain about 78% nitrogen. So C is the right answer. In question 15, the information about the carbon dioxide and methane is given. The question is tick means that is true and cross means that is false. So formed when vegetation decomposition, it should be methane is yes, like methane is formed and carbon dioxide no. So it means option A is wrong. Greenhouse gases, that's true. Both of the gases are greenhouse. They can cause a global warming. Present in unpolluted air, carbon dioxide is present. Produced during respiration, carbon dioxide is produced, not the methane. So the correct answer is B. Then underwater steel pipes can be protected by from corrosion by attaching a magnesium block. Which equation represent the reaction that prevent? Basically, this is called a sacrificial protection because magnesium is more reactive, so magnesium will react first. So magnesium will react first. How the metal react? They will lose, metal tend to lose electrons, so magnesium atom will lose electron and turn into magnesium ion. So C is the right answer because the metal have the tendency to lose electron. And more reactive metal can lose electron easily as compared to less reactive. Ammonia is manufactured. The question is you have underground iron pipe, steel pipe, and we place a magnesium here. This is how we protect the iron from rusting. So what happened? A piece of magnesium is placed on iron. So because magnesium is more reactive, so magnesium will transfer its electron on the iron surface. And this magnesium will react with oxygen and water vapor in the atmosphere as compared to iron. So what is the equation for magnesium to lose electron? The magnesium atom will turn into magnesium ion by loss of 2 electrons. So C should be the right answer. So always the more reactive metal loses electron first. Ammonia is manufactured by a Haber process. The reaction is exothermic. Which statement about Haber process is correct? Reaction is irreversible. That is wrong. The reaction is reversible and produce less ammonia at high pressure. That is also wrong because if high pressure is there, we'll get more ammonia. The reaction is reversible and produce less ammonia at high temperature. That's true because the reaction is exothermic. If the forward reaction is exothermic, if we increase the temperature, the equilibrium or the balance is shifted toward the side which is having high energy. So we have both reactant and product. Energy of the reactant is more because the reaction is reversible and product is less. So this is N2. This one is 3H2. This gives 2NH3. So when we increase the temperature, equilibrium shifted toward the left hand side. So we'll get less ammonia. So C is the right answer. And if we use a catalyst, it does not slow down the rate of the reaction. It increases the rate of the reaction. Then here, boards made from a steel can be protected from rusting by attaching a block with a more reactive metal. Which statement is correct? So we should use a more reactive metal block as I mentioned here, like we can use magnesium. So because oxygen and water vapor will react with magnesium rather than iron. So copper is used, that is wrong. Copper cannot be used because copper is less reactive. When we write the reactivity series, we have potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminum, zinc, iron, lead. So the correct answer, magnesium is not used, magnesium is used. And why it is used? Because it can lose electron easily and it can protect the iron from or the structure or iron structure from rusting. Then manufacture of ammonia by a Haber process, nitrogen and hydrogen react to form ammonia. It is not possible to obtain 100% yield. What is the reason why we cannot obtain 100% yield, or why the reaction does not give 100% ammonia? Because ammonia can decompose, reactant can form a product, product can decompose. So high pressure is used. If high pressure is used, we should get more ammonia, but still we don't get 100%. Why? Because ammonia decompose at high temperature, or breakdown of ammonia is happening because the temperature around 450 is used. So once ammonia is formed, as a result ammonia will decompose and form back nitrogen and hydrogen. And the last one, a metal X is used to make oil pipelines. X screwed in air and water, and X can be protected by attaching a block of metal Y. Which statement is correct? So block Y should be more reactive, or block Y, because like we have metal X can rust. So we protect this metal X by this Y. So this one is X. So as a result, what will happen? The oxygen will react with metal Y instead of metal X. So what is the reason? Because metal X can lose electron easily. Oh, sorry, metal Y can lose electron easily, or Y forms a positive ion more readily or easily as or fast compared to that of X. So B is the right answer. So this was about the exercise related to air and water.